Hey y'all. Welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead. Today, we've got a $75 go-kart that hasn't run in years. We're gonna make it go. Sure, we could have gone with something modern with safety features and stuff like that, but you don't get to be poor and safe at the same time, so this is good enough. This beautiful piece of engineering was a marketplace find, and of course it's got the beautiful $99 Harbor Freight special engine on it with a coupon, but it hasn't run in a long time, and today I believe we can make it happen. The fact is, all small engines are really freaking simple. So whether it's a go-kart or an old lawnmower, I've got two of them that I got running a couple weeks ago. They were free. The point is, people often treat these kinds of things as throwaway items, and they don't need to be. With a little bit of love, we'll get it running again. I'm confident in that. So the first thing you need to do is stretch, because you're old and the go-kart's low to the ground and your back hurts. Then from there, we're going to take a look at the fluids in here. There's only two of them, gas and oil. Well, she's still got gas in her. That's a problem, because we know for a fact this hasn't run in at least like 3 years. So that gas has definitely started to turn, and I'm not advising that you smell it, but it's got a smell to it. You know old gas when you smell it. Oil looks pretty clean though, so we won't mess with it. So with the bad gas, we know we're probably gonna have to clean the carburetor, which is more or less standard practice with getting an old engine running good again. So we'll plan on doing that. As I was taking a look around, I noticed this. We got the old gravity mounted airbox. That's a problem. I fully expect this thing to kick up a little bit of dirt. I don't need that going in the carburetor. That's an easy fix, and that's the first one we're gonna start with. So my goal with this video, as well as going through just getting an old engine running again, is to kind of hit some of the other general things about small engines for people who don't know it. And if you do know it, cool. I hope you like hearing me talk about things you already know. Anyway, we had two tubes going to the airbox. This one here went down into the cylinder head, and the other one vented the gas tank so those fumes could recirculate back through and burn off, hopefully. If either of these tubes go bad, not all that important. So basically, we're just gonna use like a quick setting 2-part epoxy to put this back together. Looks like all the plastic is still there. I think it'll work. So we're 8 minutes into the project and we already lost the other little guy that looks like this. That's pretty standard, really. Or, you know, it'll be right here, right there in perfect view. Y'all saw it. I don't know why you didn't tell me. This is a really bad time to figure out that the airbox is full of ants that are now crawling all over me. This is actually quite unpleasant, but I only got a few more minutes left till it sets, so they probably won't kill me. Holy crap. That is a lot of ants. So now while we're waiting on that to set up, we'll go ahead and pull the fuel tank, get it dumped out for proper disposal. Definitely not saved in a milk jug to throw on a bonfire later. Then we'll pull the carburetor off. Looks like somebody's dehydrated. And then from there, we just slide that forward, pull the linkage, and our carb is off. So the biggest problem with old gas and carburetors is varnish. Basically, it's just a film that builds up on the surface and it can clog up jets, tiny little holes and stuff inside there. I've already made a video about how carburetors work. It mixes fuel and air. We don't need to go too far into it, but basically, we want to get this cleaned. We're not doing a full-blown rebuild. I don't have a kit for it, and it's probably not necessary. We do want to make sure that we carefully remove these gaskets off of here. If you happen to tear one though, you can make a new one with a piece of cardboard. I don't drink anymore, so I don't have beer cases laying around, but it works. And then from there, we're gonna dunk it in a bucket of this. They make it just for this purpose, so you can find them at parts stores. It's even got a little basket inside to dunk it in there. If you don't have this stuff, you can always just get a whole can of carb cleaner and spray the hell out of it inside and out. It might work. Bloop. Now that carburetor dip really should be used for about 24 hours, and we're not doing that. The choke plate and everything didn't look like there was all that much buildup on there, but we'll leave it in there while we do the rest of this stuff. So I said that we were gonna pull the tank, but I'm looking at the bottom of it. It's pretty dang clean, but it's something worth checking. If it's something that you need to do, you can get vinegar or some kind of sulfuric acid or whatever from the hardware store. Let that eat away the rust in there. In this case, we won't need to. So there's 3 things that an engine needs to run: fuel, fire, and air. Well, and compression, fuel atomization, some sort of rotational force to get it going. Fuel, fire, and air. Those are the 3. We did our air. We're working on our fuel right now. Last thing is fire. So let's check the spark plug. Small problem. Boot's cracked. No big deal. Well, it looks like our spark plug is cracked too. If I were a betting man, I'd say that probably was a factor in this thing getting benched. Simple enough. We'll pull it and swap it out. There we go. So this is an easy replacement. I can go to any parts store and get a new one of these. What I can't get is a new one of these. Now obviously it's still gonna make contact, but that boot isn't really standard. I don't think. It might be. Regardless, I've got a creative solution in mind. It should still make contact, so as long as we protect it from grounding out, it won't be a problem. There we go. We just electrical taped the crap out of the boot. Should be good. I meant to demonstrate, but I forgot. If you need to check for spark, just stick the plug in the boot, ground it out on the block, and then pull the cord. If you see a spark, the spark plug works. But we already got it back together, and I'm not taking it back apart. So now all we got to do is get the carburetor back on and see if she runs. So we pulled it out of our little dip, and the last thing that we're going to do is just, I don't have any carb cleaner, but ether's basically the same thing. I'm just going to spray the hell out of it, go into every little orifice, and then put it back on. After we got all the dead ants out of it, the air filter's fairly clean. The sponge type like that, you can rinse out and then dry out, but we're just gonna let her wobble. I think it'll work. A little bit of wobble juice. Come on now, I believe in you. Sometimes it takes a little bit to pull the fuel back through the lines. We're gonna help move that process along. Extra spicy wobble juice.
Almost.
Well, that's a good sign. So I just thought about it. And I never did empty out the fuel bowl after soaking it in the carb cleaner. So I have a sneaking suspicion some of that crap may still be down in there. We'll drain it out, then try again. You're a nerd. She lives. Over by the generator. And now the Wild Billy has elected to take the test run on it. Almost forgot to put the seat back on. It's high quality stuff. Go ahead. I just graded this road and they're gonna put a whole bunch of ruts in it, and you know what? I'm okay with that, just as a dad. There is a way to govern that back a little bit, but that wouldn't be any fun. All right. right, y'all. And just like that, the old girl is running again. But the bigger point here is that a lot of small engines get benched for little reasons. The carb gets gummed up, spark plugs go bad, magneto goes out, all those little things that don't cost a lot or take any real work to fix, you can fix them. You can also capitalize on people who aren't willing or aren't able to do so. I mean, like I said, 75 bucks, all kinds of fun to be had. I think it's important to get kids into things with engines early, because if you start them early and get them hooked on it, they won't have any money for drugs. Y'all try not to die, okay?
We will try not to die.
All right, glad to hear it. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed and I hope you learned something. I love you and God bless. Maybe I should line the entire driveway with tires. Need to get on that.